Hi friends, welcome to Aishudiy DIY. This is a pretty earrings that I made using the findings and some garnets. And these findings, the teardrop findings, comes like this. It comes in a lot of colors, and you get four in one color. So 4 of these teardrop findings in one color. I have shown you guys a couple of earrings before, and I'll show you guys the video how to make these also. So I utilized all the 4 teardrops in one single earrings, or you can just use 1 teardrop per earring. And for this project we need 24 gauge wire, and I made the ear wire also in 24 gauge, and I have hand stamped it with the bench block and the hammer just to make it stronger. And the reason being is the hole here in the top of the finding is thin, and once I do a couple of wraps with these garnet, I bring the wire and do a couple of wraps, there's not much room for ear wire, so that's why I made the ear wire with 24 gauge. If you have a 22 gauge, I would say go with the 22 gauge, and this is 20 gauge, by the way. I thought it was 22 and then I grabbed it. We need 24 gauge wire for wire wrapping and for the ear wire. So as you can see, the gold tone here, the frame is not very bright gold. It's a light gold, which is very nice, and this matches this, the wire matches that. So you don't need much. Okay, you need about say 3 inches. That's more than sufficient for this earring. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my 2mm garnet faceted roundels. Okay, first I am going to insert this wire inside this loop and then make a bend like this. Okay, so use your pliers and go through this bend one more time. Go through the loop one more time. Okay, and then pull the wire. Make sure it's nice and tight. You don't need many, but you need very few wraps. Actually my wire is twisted inside. I will just make sure that it is not. I'll just cut it off and start over again. I don't want to work up my wire a lot. There we go. So I just take the short piece and insert into the loop one more time. So 1.5 wraps is more than enough to secure this inside this loop, and that's all you will be able to do. So because as I said, the space here is very less. If you have a 26 gauge wire, you might as well use that for the wire wrapping. I need my tweezer nose pliers for this. So here we go. And then I will snip off the excess. As I said, 1.5 loops is enough. And now I have this attached to it. Now I pick up the beads. So there is a dark tone and a light tone in this, so I'm just alternating it over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beads. Okay, 5 beads on one side. Okay, that's how much it comes to wrap this teardrop, and then put it through this loop. This loop is in a perfect shape, like the top loop is horizontal and the bottom loop is vertical or perpendicular to the teardrop, which is perfect to do this kind of a wire wrap. Just pull the wire nicely so that all the beads can sit really nice. And if you can see this wrap is on top, that's why this is happening. So just make sure that you adjust that, bring that all the way down, okay, so that you have space on the top to add your ear wire. And now push this and these beads sit perfectly there. Now I'm going to pick up 5 more beads. There we go. And then now we have to come around and then do the same wire wrap now. So bring it and put it through this loop once and pull it with your pliers, making sure this sits nicely around this frame. Okay. I'm guessing that this wire came from the back. So do the same the other side too, so that it looks even on both sides and not really odd. There we go. Just pull those tight and then make sure that you do one more wrap. That much is also more than enough, I guess. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is snip this off, and then you can tuck the tail in, or you can tuck the tail right next to the findings. This is what you have right now. Okay, now there is a little bit of a movement here. The beads move around, so just make sure it's nice and even. And now we are going to make a gear wire with the 24 gauge wire. I actually made already I have videos in my channel how to make your own ear wire. The only thing is you need to stamp with a hammer and a bench block. So I hammered it using a bench block and a hammer, and I open up this ear wire and add it to the finding. You need to squeeze that in there, move all the wires down, and I did it in the opposite direction. No, properly. No, I did it in the opposite direction only. Okay. So let's do it from this side and then close it. So such an easy project, but it's very cute and it forms a frame around the beads. In the next video, we will make this earrings, which has also a dangle in the bottom, and it uses even more smaller beads than this. These ones are 2 millimeter. I think this is 1.5 millimeter. Maybe this is even more smaller. We will use this and make this earrings. Hi friends, welcome back. In this video we will learn how to make this pretty earrings. This is the same version, but it doesn't have a dangle, which we already saw how to make it, and this is with the dangle. And this time I'm going to show you guys how to use a 28 gauge wire to do the wrap. Sorry, 26 gauge. We use 24 there, we will use 26 gauge. However, for the ear wire, I would suggest use a 22 gauge, which is the perfect size. If not 24, don't go below that. 24 is also not very ideal. I just hammered this just for extra security. Just 2.5 to 3 inches of wire is more than sufficient for this project. And we need this finding, which is from selectedpandahall.com, and each color has 4 pieces, and we have multiple colors in the thing. And then I'm just going to insert my wire from the down to the up, and then just fold it a little bit, just like so, and take your pliers and insert it one more time. Okay, once you get the 2 wraps, that's more than sufficient. So snip off the excess wire and then make sure you tuck the tail in. I'm snipping off a little bit more so that I can get this nice end. Pull it all the way down. Now we have this so far. What we are going to do now is pick up our 2 millimeter faceted gemstone crystals. This is so pretty, and I have added about, say, 6 on each side. So the garnet was little bit bigger, so I have here a trash container that I use for small tidbits of wires. Then I throw it away once I have it full. That way it is not crowding your space. Just making sure you tuck the tail in. There we go. Now pick up the beads. 6 beads on each side. It depends upon how big your roundel crystals are. You can also use crystal. I'm using a gemstone. I think these are aquamarine, but I'm not so sure. It came with a subscription box. This has teeny tiny holes, and 24 gauge will not cut it, so I used 26. So that's 5 and one more, that's gonna be 6. Okay, then bring that down, shape your wire. These wires are really pliable, so shape your wire and then bring it through this loop. Okay, before proceeding any further, I want to do the bottom part too, because once you add this, it will be difficult to insert the bottom part. So for that, I need a thin gauge head pin, whichever gauge you have available in your stash, you can use that, and also a 6mm pearl. I'm using the 6mm pearl here, and I think these are freshwater pearls or Swarovski pearls, I don't know. I bought this from Mercari. It seems to be pretty good, nice high quality one. So I'm making a wrap loop here. Once you start making the loop just like that, I want you to move this a little bit on the side and add it to this finding, the loop in the finding. There we go. And then hold it right there and make yourself couple of wraps until you reach the bead, and then you can snip off or you can tuck the tail in, whichever is you prefer. So these tidbits, you need to throw it away, otherwise it might poke you. There I go. And now that's secure. Now I can add this rest of the beads. 6 more beads. If you have a bigger bead, doesn't, no problem, 3x4mm or so. You have to add less number of beads. That's it. 3, 4, 5 and 6. As I said, the holes in these beads are very, very teeny tiny. So here we go. You bring that up, making sure your wire is nice. So I don't want this to be a round form, so I'm just grabbing this and making myself a nice teardrop beads. Let me see if I have 3, 6. I have 6 beads only, but still it seems to be a little bit more on this side than on this side for some reason. There we go. I pulled it nice and tight. Now I go from underneath as well, not from the top, because that's what we did while we started. So I just move all the bead and take this teeny tiny tail and use your pliers to help you pushing the wire through and making sure it's nice and secure. And once you have one wrap, then you need to make the second one. So bring the wire back, turn the earring as you wish so that you can get a nice angle to insert this wire once more. Once you get the 2 wraps, just move this wire to the side and snip it off. See how easy is this to do with a 26 gauge wire than a 24. Sometimes thinner wire works the best. Once you tuck the tail in, all you need to do now is to add the ear wire, and we are done with the earrings. Just open this up and take it and insert this. Just wiggle around. It's a little bit hard to put it. So what you can do is you can push all the wires down just like so with your pliers, and then try again. Trying my level best to put it in. Let me see if I can succeed. There we go. I did it. But trust me, it was a little bit hard. But managed to get that in there. And these are very pretty earrings. I really love them a lot. So cute, and the gray and the blue color combination also came out very pretty. I shall see the I'm seeing that there is one more pattern that we need to go through, which is this right here. So in this I attached two, and I made my own ear wire with a 20 gauge wire, just because the tone of the findings matched with that color combination. So I have here the regular ear wires, which I think I bought somewhere, and you can see the color of the yellow here. It's nice and bright, wherein this one is a little bit on the matte side. I don't know if the camera is picking it up. So that's why I added my own ear wire, but you can use the ear wire, store-bought ear wire for this findings. It will look pretty. And we shall do this two teardrop model with the red color. I really love the red color. It's nice and pretty. And this finding, you need to find the perpendicular loop which is on the bottom of the teardrop, and it's really not very prominent over there, and it is hard also to remove this move like a jump ring, but you can try and do it, is all I'm saying. So you just move it. Let me see. So I just try a couple of them, and whichever seems to be easy, I just open them. That's how I did for that. And see, this is already a little bit wobbly here, so I can move it, I think, just like that. Okay, and then you take the next one, which doesn't have even a hole, and then insert it here in that loop. You can also use jump rings. You can use two jump rings to do that. Okay, now I put this in and then bring this back into a loop form. It's a little bit tough, but I really like how it turned out to be. So I'm going to stick to the plan. Move this a bit and press it right there. That's good enough. It will not come off for sure. Once you're able to fix that in, those two are attached. Now let's find out a way to do this. See, there is a small opening there, and if you can see, there is no opening at all in this. So this is the one I need to pry open. So I just take my pliers, tweezer nose pliers, and put it in. I know we are supposed to use it as a jump ring, just like twist it open, but this one is very hard to twist it open. So this here, if you have a round nose pliers which is small enough and it goes inside, you can twist it open like this. Okay, and then add the next finding just like so, and then you need to bring this back. Making sure this is inside while you close that. Let me take another plier. I have collected quite a lot of pliers. There we go. So as I said, it will not come off, so that's not a problem. As long as it's closed a bit, that's all we need. So that's there. Now all you need to do is make a dangle. I have here some pearl beads. I'm not so sure what they are. They are, I think, old stock freshwater pearls. Maybe they did like this. You can see there is like a weird texture on top of the beads. So that's very different. So I take a head pin as usual. I put it in this, and this hole is notoriously small. I'm sure these are freshwater pearls. Just by that we can say it is semi-precious or not. Once you form a loop, add it to the bottom loop of the finding. And then make a wrap loop. Snip off the excess wire. If there is a short tail, please make sure you tuck that in. Otherwise your hair or the thread from your dress might get caught on that. It's very hard to do this tucking with a thinner gauge of wire. I used a thinner gauge head pin here, so that makes it very hard to tuck the tail in. And I feel I have more control with a thicker gauge when I am doing this. So here we go. Take the other one. As I said, very thin very small hole. Even this is the thinnest wire possible. Even this is not going properly inside. There we go. Use the thinnest wire possible. 26 gauge or 28 gauge should be good enough. Don't even go for 24. It will not go through it at all. 28 gauge idle. If not, try 26. And I'm sure that mine is not even 26. It's 28. And then I snip off the excess wire. And then that's all. Tuck the tail in if there is one, which there is. And there we go. Now this is ready-made ear wires. You open up the loop, add this winding to the loop, and you have a beautiful earrings, nice for a night out or for a function, or just like that when you go out. You can wear such pretty earrings with freshwater pearls in Pandahall Selected findings. I really love this 2 teardrop look. I made one more with this light blue also and some freshwater pearl. This is very pretty as well, and I love this purple ones as well. I hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos, a couple of videos a week. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.